All right, Beanie Sigel. Glad to have you on Camp Capone News.
What up, Cam? What it do?
Hey, nothing much, man. Just, glad to have you here. You know, a legend in the game. Been
Yes,
around a
sir.
long time.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was just gonna take it back a little bit and let the audience get to know you for the people who might not know.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows you're from Philly, man. Can you kind of take me through your childhood and what it was like for you growing up back then?
I mean, I'm from South Philly, the south side of Philly. That speaks for itself. Anybody that know anything about Philadelphia, I'm from South Philly. Childhood like any other childhood. You know what I mean? Coming up in the hood, trying to find your way by any means necessary. That's
Okay, I
basically
hear
my
that.
story.
What was school like for you?
It was all right when I went. Whenever I went to school, it was okay. It was good. I like school.
Okay, did you drop out or like you stopped going?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Hooky school a lot. I hooky school a lot. I think in the 9th grade, caught a case, juvenile, and I went into a juvenile policeman. And I got my GED in there, Slayton Farms.
Can you talk about what the case was for?
Doing something I wasn't supposed to do. And
Okay.
I had a robbery case.
And this was in the 9th grade. Was this your first serious case?
Nah, I've been getting adjudicated since I was 9 years old in and out of policemen's.
You catch this case and you get your high school diploma.
My GED. I got my GED in policeman, yeah.
You get your GED. How long were you in there? Were you in there like 4 years?
Nah, about two and a half years. It was only I only supposed to have been there for 9 months. And that turned into 2.5 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. You caught some time when you were in there.
Yeah, I caught a assault case while I was locked up. And they gave me more time.
Okay. Now, you do your 2.5 years and you come out, but you got your GED. You know, are you trying to go straight? Are you thinking about going straight, or you going straight back to the streets?
Man, I had no idea what I was about to do. Actually, it's crazy because I got my GED. If I never got left back, like going to regular public school, I actually got my GED a year before I would have graduated high school, so it kind of worked out for me.
Did you ever have a job? Did you get a job when you got out, or try to?
I ain't never have a job in my life. Ever. Not even a paper route.
If you're not going to school, what do you do when you get out of this place?
You know what I'm doing.
Just getting in trouble.
Back to the block with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the block with it.
Okay, are you rapping at this time?
Yeah, I started rapping. I actually started rapping when I was in placement, like taking it a little serious. Like started writing raps. So yeah, at that time I was playing with it.
Do you remember how old you were?
Probably about 15, 16 years old.
Was there anybody that you looked up to that made you want to rap?
Yeah, locally, it was this guy, Jazz Fresh. I looked up to him, and Snooze B. And rest in peace to the fat man, Yeezy. They really helped me. Them 3 people helped me hone my skills.
Okay, so you knew these guys. These guys were, you were working with these guys and they were teaching you stuff.
Yeah, they was from the neighborhood. Yeah. And rest in peace to my man, Air Smooth. Yeah, Air Smooth. He actually was one of the first people who really told me that I really had it. But I was on the block. Rap wasn't paying no bills. I wanted the new Jordans.
Did it just come natural to you? Like you didn't really, your style and everything that you invented with yourself?
Yeah, it was easy for me. It just was easy for me. I ain't never really sit down and like go at it like, yo, I'ma practice every day, I'ma be a rapper. I just did it when I did it, and it was easy for me.
Okay. And now when do you start going to the booth and putting out projects or, trying to get your music heard more?
I wouldn't say I went to the booth to get my music heard more, but the first time I was in a booth, I went with a guy from around my way named Murder Mill. Me and him went to the studio. Actually, it was a studio put together in his homie crib. And we did like three records we recorded, and we burnt them on the CD and gave them out in the hood. And that's what really got the buzz going on for me in my neighborhood.
Are you still catching cases at this time too, or are you kind of staying out of trouble?
Nah, I'm still was me. I still was doing me.
Okay.
The cases ain't stopped even when I got signed to Roc-A-Fella. Y'all know my story, man. You know my story, Cam.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know this though. Like, I learned some new stuff right here though. For sure. I know that you did catch some cases at the height of your career.
Yeah.
And right now, we got in hip hop, man. There's these big stories going on with Pooh Shiesty and Gucci, man, and Pooh's in the height of his career right now. What is your thoughts on this situation?
Man, I ain't really got no thoughts. Like, that ain't really my business. I just, I fell for the brother. Because being a person that been in and out the system and know how the system kind of work, lot of prayers for Pooh Shiesty, man.
Yeah, man. He just got out of jail. He just did about 4 years, and now he's looking at this serious situation. Coming from you going through not his type of case, but you had a serious case at the height of your career, man. Do you have any advice for him? Being that you went through something similar.
Shit, I don't know if I can give you some advice now. The damage is done. I mean, get close to God, stay prayed up. That's it.
Do you feel like his team should have directed him to stay out of trouble more? Like, did you have a good team in place when you were going through what you were going through?
I was my team. So sometimes it's hard to listen to yourself.
Yeah, that's real. Okay, now, one of the things that also just happened, man, is Jay-Z did an interview.
Yeah.
Which went crazy, man, and he had a couple big topics during this interview. And one of the main things that came out was he was like, I don't know if there's a place in hip-hop for battling anymore. And, it comes with so much negativity. And the way the fans go crazy, they attack your character. What's your thoughts on that? I know you had some big battles before.
In a battle in hip hop, ain't no holds barred. No holds barred. Everything go. That's if you keeping it hip hop. Right now, things spilling to the street, so I agree with Jay. I'm from that cloth too. No women, no children allowed. But in hip hop, man, ain't no holds barred. Everything go.
Yeah, I see that. You know, like I see it more with like, you know, dudes doing the face-to-face battles and going hard like that. They'll say some wild shit about each other.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I don't think I'll last around. I couldn't do that. Yeah, they say some.
You get busy to have to handle some business on the spot.
I don't know if I could hold my composure to stand there. You know what I mean? You down there smelling a nigga breath while you talking shit about your mom and your kids and your wife and what he'll do. And I don't know if I could do that. I salute to everybody who do that. Everybody that's in the battle realm that do their thing, the URL, man. Y'all got some balls on y'all, man. I salute y'all. I tilt my hat to all of them. It's very entertaining. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Yeezy, the block captain.
But it feels different when people put it on a record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Am I you know what I'm saying? It seems like, you know, when Kendrick called Drake a pedophile, it's you know what I'm saying? For some reason, him putting it on a record just seemed a little different than when dudes do it in face to face.
I don't know. It is what it is. Get back at him.
Say something worse.
Yeah, ain't no holds barred, man. I know me, I could say some disrespectful shit. So, it is what it is. Like I said, in the battle, ain't no holds barred. And if you lying, that's something different. Yeah, that's something different.
I hear that. Well, overall, what did you think of Jay-Z's interview? You know, he also addressed people kind of coming at him about the capitalism thing, and you know, there was a lot of good topics in there.
To tell the truth, I only seen like clips. I haven't sat and actually watched the whole interview all the way through. So I only seen certain clips. The clips that I did see is a good interview. I want to be able to sit down and just watch it all the way through.
Okay. Now, in this interview, he says, you know, he regretted his battle with Nas, and that Nas is a nice guy. You know, going back when you guys were going through that,
yeah,
did you ever think that him and Jay would get to a spot where he would be like saying these things about Nas?
Nah, because it was on. It was on when that Jay-Z and Nas battle was on. Yeah, it was on. I was frontlining for the Roc on that. That was on. It's good to see them in a space where they in now. It's good for hip hop. I think people should mirror that. That's, you know, who go through it on wax, and since then they done built together, did things together, businesses and all that. So it's a good thing.
How did you first hear about the Nas battle? Like, or how did you first find out that it was on?
Shit, like everybody else, tuning in, listening to the radio. And that joint, it came on the radio, it was like, oh shit. I think I was on my way home. And I was listening to the radio and it dropped. I did a U-turn, I went straight to New York to Baseline Studio. Yo, what we doing?
You're talking about Ether.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And you got, okay, because Jay recorded the response to that, Super Ugly. Like, was it like that day or like the next day?
No, I think it was like a day or two later. I was in the studio when Jay recorded that.
Oh, you was with him?
Yeah.
Okay. What was you thinking? Like, what was that studio session like?
Like any other session with Jay, and I think it was me, Jay, Irv Gotti was in there. I think Irv brought the beat. Irv Gotti was in there. It was a few people in there. I think my man, my homie Parker was there. It's kind of strange, because after that, I think Nas signed with Irv Got Murder Inc., so I ain't understand that. Yeah, that was kind of weird to me.
Jay kind of kicked it off with Takeover. You know, did you think that Takeover was going to turn into a big thing?
Nah, I really never paid no attention to it. I never knew they had prior beef before that. I never really understood it. Like, I think, to me, I was like a fan just came out of nowhere for me, but I didn't know they was throwing shots, like subliminals, until like years later after people was breaking down the beef. Then they was saying Nas threw a shot at Jay on this record and Jay came back at Nas. So I never knew that.
Now, all this goes down, and I know, you know, you said you're frontlining for it, you know, everything, man. I mean, I remember this battle was huge at the time, man. I remember when this was going down.
Yeah.
It was all anybody could talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest battle ever still, I don't know, this Drake and Kendrick thing was pretty big. Well, I mean, Kendrick made it to the Super Bowl with the diss song, so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. How often were you recording? Is there any diss records that didn't make it out?
Yeah, there's a few.
Okay.
There's a few that didn't make it out.
Because I only really remember Jay going at Nas. I didn't remember you going too hard at Nas during the time.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
I might have missed it. I'm over here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
We didn't always get the mixtapes, bro. It wasn't the internet.
Yeah.
You know, so there is stuff, underground stuff that I missed, man. That we just didn't get it, or I didn't know where to get it at the time.
Yeah, it was a couple freestyles. Me and the prop. Like I said, it was Roc-A-Fella soldiers. You got beef with Jay, you got beef with everybody.
Okay.
At least I know with me, I wasn't having it.
When did you notice that like things were slowing down with the beef, or things were starting to change where it wasn't as serious?
I don't really know. I don't really know, because I had a lot of drama going on in my life at the time, so I really wasn't paying attention to it.
And how did everything between you and Jadakiss kick off?
Oh, shit, man. Freestyles back and forth. It just happened. Kiss, that's my man. I don't want to relive that.
Let's take it back a little bit, man. How did you end up getting signed to Roc-A-Fella?
I got signed to Roc-A-Fella. I battled this group, Philly's Most Wanted. And when I battled them, me and my partner at the time, Murder Mill, I exchanged numbers with one of with the head of their group, Bubonic. Shout out to Arta Albacea. And he told me that they had a couple meetings and they was going up to Roc-A-Fella Records to go meet with Jay. He wound up not going. I actually tried to duck that meeting and go to a dog fight. And I wound up taking the meeting, and when I went up there with him, I just went as a spectator. It wasn't my meeting. And I wound up rapping for Jay, and it was on. Like the next day, they was like, yo, we want that kid.
Did you think that they fucked with you from the gate? Because I heard Jay is like really, like he might not let you know he fucked with your music if he's listening to it.
Yeah, that's crazy you said that, because that was the take that I took, like, because his poker faces. So I'm thinking, all right, yeah, I rap for him. But it was when I was about to leave and he shook my hand, he was like, I'm gonna holler at you, police boy. I was like, all right. And it was the people I went with that was telling me, like, yo, they feeling you. And they was actually trying to get me to stay in New York that night, but I was like, nah, I gotta get back. I went back to Philly, and then I wound up going back up, I think like a couple days later, and it was like, yo, we want to sign you to Roc-A-Fella Records. I said, dang.
Did you met Dame and Biggs and everybody at that time?
I remember Dame being there, Biggs, OG Wine was in there, Too Short was in there in the session, because Too Short and Jay was recording It Was All Good a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when we came for the meeting, we actually, like, it was a studio session.
Dope. Okay. Do you remember the first recording you had with Roc-A-Fella?
Shit. The first recording.
Well, you and Bleak had 1,000 bars. That was like,
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones. 1,000 Bars and Cool Love. I think 1,000 Bars, Cool Love, and What a Thug About was the first records that I recorded.
Crew Love was on. It was on a soundtrack, right? Was that the Belly soundtrack?
Belly soundtrack, yeah.
Belly soundtrack. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, and he put you on his album, Hard Knock Life Volume 2.
Reservoir Dogs, yeah. That's when I knew it was real.
That's some stiff competition for you being your first
Hell
real
yeah.
record.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Jada on there, you got Sheik
Style,
and
Chic,
the
Sauce,
Locks
Money,
and Jay,
Jay.
you.
And it was like, get in there. I had to show up.
Man, okay. I mean, were you a little intimidated by that lineup?
Hell yeah. Intimidated and excited at the same time, because at the time, Locks was like, that's all I was listening to. Me and my man Rahisi, we used to drive from Philly up to New York and cop the mixtapes off of Broadway and bring them back. I remember when the Locks, when they was the Warlocks before just the Locks. And they was like one of my top go-tos, like I used to listen to before, like anybody in my hood was on the Locks, I was on them. So that's what I was listening to. So to come in and like to land and get on a record with them was a big deal for me.
Yeah, man. I remember that record. Yeah, it was dope for sure. Okay, now you do this record, and it comes out dope. What's next for Beanie Sigel on Roc-A-Fella?
The Hard Knock Life tour. Yeah, I went on the Hard Knock Life tour right after that.
They had you spitting a cappella.
Yeah, man, every night. And that
Every
was
night.
crazy. That was crazy. That was to make it or break it. Cause if I'd have got booed, I don't know if I could have recovered from that. That was to make it or break it. Every night, a cappella. Every night, burnt it down though. Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Doing a cappella like that, especially you're new to the game and everything.
Nobody knew me.
Right.
Ain't nobody know me. Yeah, that was hard.
What was the best thing you had or best experience you had during that Hard Knock Life tour?
The best experience. I'm gonna say, me and Bleak got real tight on that tour. Yeah, me and Bleak we locked them real tight on that tour. Like that's when I came off that tour considering like Bleak like my brother. Cause we was together every day.
Okay. Now, I think you said that at one point you seen, I think DMX, Method Man checking you out from the sideline?
Yeah, that's when I knew, cause I remember one night I was trying to change the rap that I was doing. Jay was like, don't do that. Do the same rap. So, we a couple weeks in on the tour and I look and I see DMX. I seen Red and Meth like on the side of the stage like, and they came out and they was watching me, do my thing. And that's when I was like, oh shit. I had the big dogs checking me out and they was with me. I was like, yeah, it's on. I gotta step it up.
Man, that's what's up, man. Yo, I remember seeing Jay tell a story, I believe it was from the Hard Knock Life tour, where he was like, he was talking about DMX's performance and, how he, makes the crowd cry and he starts running around, taking his shirt off and, that he had to like switch it up after he seen this DMX show. What was your thoughts on his shows? And, did you have a relationship with DMX?
Yeah, with X, yeah. Yeah, we had, X was good money. X was good money. Thorough. One of the realest I ever met in the game. Same person, always. X. Like, his show was crazy though, because I would watch his whole show. He dragging the pit bull across the stage. Yeah, he going crazy. Yeah, some nights, Jay had the headline, some nights, X had the headline. They would switch it after a while. Yeah, it was that crazy. And it was crazy because X ain't had no hype man. No hype man. So he was doing all that shit 45 minutes by himself.
Man, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you have a favorite story hanging out with DMX?
My favorite story hanging out with DMX? All right, not hanging out with him. I did chill with X at his crib, right? In the beginning of me getting signed to Roc-A-Fella Records, my management at the time still was taking me out, taking me around places. But I got a story about X. A lot of people don't know. I remember X checked me one day. Like, checked me. I was like, oh shit. So this was around the Jadakiss battle. I'm going through me and Jadakiss battle. I said a line in one of my raps. I said, I leave it up to Hove to X out Tommy Buns. You know, that's who X played in Belly, Tommy Buns. So they got a show that they was doing a powerhouse in Philly. I came to that show. X pulled up on me. And he was like, yo, would you get star? Leave that on wax. That's up to you, but me, don't ever put me in that. Like he said it like, he was like, all right, we all right? He was like, I brought you to my house, you ate my food. That ain't for me and you. That ain't for me and you. I don't do that battle shit. That shit. Leave me out of that. We cool? I was like, yeah, we cool. He said, all right. It slid off. My man was looking at me, start laughing. It's like, damn, X just checked the shit out you. I ain't never told nobody that story, but yeah, that was one of the ones though.
Damn, now that I think about it, he didn't battle. He don't have no big battles and no big records.
One that I heard of, what, him and Jay before they was on that pool shit. But yeah, X slid up on me. Yeah.
Man, that's okay. Damn.
By himself
That's
too.
by himself, man. Okay, and just had a conversation. Didn't want to be involved in it.
It was an X conversation though. That's what it was like, damn, I with it though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. Damn. What did you think when DMX was going through all of his issues and going in and out of jail and everything? And
I mean, life be lifing. Life be lifing.
yeah. Yeah. Well, rest in peace, DMX, man.
Dog. R.I.P.
Yeah.
to the dog.
For sure. Okay, now you get off the Hard Knock Life tour, but you don't have an album out yet. So at this point, are you focused on an album? Like, what's your career at this point?
Yeah, after Hard Knock Life, I went right in and started recording my album. Yeah, started recording it true.
And you're working with Kanye. This is when Kanye was just on the Rock. I'm taking it.
Yeah, I don't think he was even on the Rock yet. He wasn't on the Rock yet. I think me and Hip Hop went out and met with Kanye, and we came back with that song, The Truth, which was Kanye's first placement.
Okay, so you were the first person to work with him on the Rock.
Yeah, on Roc-A-Fella Records, yeah.
Did you see any, of what Kanye became? Did you see that at the time?
I saw the aspiration. I'm not gonna say, I'd be lying to say I seen Ye how Ye is today, but he was determined. Cause he wasn't just a producer, like he used to rap too. He used to be around State Property a lot. Like we used Ye on hooks on State Property albums, so we knew Ye wanted to rap. We knew he had some shit too, but we ain't know Ye was gonna turn into the Ye we see today.
From what I understand, a lot of people didn't take him serious as a rapper.
Yeah, they was tripping.
Right. Did you see that? Like I think Cameron told a story where Kanye was rapping and Jay was just in the corner on his phone, just not even caring about it.
Yeah. No, we the State Prop, we rocked with Jay. I mean with Ye. If you hear, like I said, some of the early State Property joints, Ye on there rapping with us. Got records with Free. Ye on a couple hooks on State Property soundtrack. We was banging with Ye heavy.
Okay. And your album drops.
Yeah.
It goes crazy because I know there was a lot of buzz built up about Beanie Sigel at the time. Well, this first album comes out, goes crazy. How do things change for you now that this album is out?
Shit, I knew I had to be a rapper for real now. I had to come back again. They say that sophomore jinx or whatever that shit is.
Oh yeah, that was the thing at the time that a lot of people talked about. The second album, flopping. And then, yeah, okay. I remember that. Okay, so, what are some times and some things going on in between albums and, how are things going? Are you going on tour with Jay at the time or, are you recording with anybody that, maybe you didn't think you'd ever record with?
First album, my only feature, Scarface. I couldn't wait to do that. That was like bucket list right there. That's like my favorite artist. Before I even thought about rapping. Scarface, well, yeah, that was the first feat. That was the only feature I had on The Truth. On my first album, when they asked me did I want to work with anybody, Scarface was it. I didn't care if I worked with nobody else. I needed that Scarface record.
What was it about Scarface that you liked so much?
Man, Scarface, batshit crazy. Like, Face was this crazy to me. Like, you go back and listen to them first Ghetto Boy albums. Scar, that ain't nothing like Face, man. And I was young, in the street, wildin', no governor. Scarface. It was this drink back in the day. I don't know if you remember. Did y'all, on the West Coast, did y'all have, it was a drink called Cisco. You remember that shit? It was
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. And I mean, man, at that time, the West Coast had so much that I didn't, unfortunately, man, at the time, I didn't listen to a lot of hip hop outside of the West Coast. It wasn't until like later that I went back and started listening to more East Coast and down South stuff.
Cisco was this liquor. It was like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, the liquor, yeah.
Yeah, the liquor. I used to drink that and listen to Scarface, and me and my homies used to go out and do shit. Like, that's what I would listen to get me geared up. Yeah, Scarface.
Yeah, they would say that Cisco, that's what you want to drink if you want to wake up in jail.
Yeah. Did that a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, for sure, man. Roc-A-Fella being one of the biggest hip-hop labels ever, did you ever see it coming to an end?
No. Nah. Now when you're living in a moment, I never seen it ending. It was a lot familiar. Never.
Man, okay. I mean, cause dude, you guys were killing it, man. I mean, Jay was platinum after platinum every year. You know, you guys were doing your thing, touring, and then it just seemed like it's over. The Rock's splitting up. Dame and Jay are going their separate ways. How did you hear about this?
You kind of saw it. Me, I kind of saw it, around the office, but the official, I was in jail when it was official. So I got the news in jail.
Okay. Now, when you get the news, are you like, do you know where you're going to go or who are you going to stay with or what the situation is going to be like for you?
Not at all. I ain't have a clue.
Okay, so you're in jail. How much time are you doing this time? A couple years?
Yeah, that time I was doing I think a year.
A year?
You had a year.
Okay, so you're in jail a year, and now you got to get out, and you don't really even know what direction your career is going to go. You don't, and you're in there, so it's kind of probably harder to just maneuver and everything to try to figure everything out. What is your thoughts, while you're in jail? Are you planning, like, when I get out?
No, I ain't had no, I was in jail, so that wasn't even on my mind until I got out. Like, what's the move? And I just wanted to, see what was what. Dame, he was coming to see me when I was booked, but I haven't talked to Jay yet. So I just wanted to have that conversation with Jay and see where it was at.
Did you do any writing in jail?
No. No,
Okay.
that ain't right.
Is there a reason why you didn't?
Why I didn't write?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't had no time to be writing no raps. I'm in jail. I was trying to find my bed. I wasn't trying to be nobody radio or none of that. So you couldn't even talk to me about rap shit in jail. Yeah, you couldn't even do that.
How did they treat you in jail? Like, being that, you're a star at the time.
Like 576-13066. I was another inmate just like everybody else. I mean, of course, people, they wanted pictures and people said, what's up? But I think it was more so how I treated other people, how I carried it. So I was cool.
Now, I wanted to ask you about this, man. There's this famous clip of Jay-Z that's been viral a few times where he's like, he's kind of warning you guys, like, 50 Cent is coming. Flood the streets with music now. He's about to blow. Do you remember that? And what was that like?
I actually don't remember that. I don't remember that meeting that 50 Cent is about to come flood the street. Like, it was on us. I don't remember that. And looking at that, I don't know. Should we have to been worrying about that? Or should Jay? Was 50 more a Jay competition than state property? I could see if it was like, yo, G-Unit coming, watch out for Banks and them, because that would have, but I would think that would have been Jay had to worry about 50 more than us.
That's a fact. 50 he shot right to the top right from the beginning. Okay, so I believe at one point, you catch another case, and that one's a little bit more serious at the time.
Which one was that? That's crazy even saying that. Which case was that? Wow.
Well, I believe you did your bid and you were with 50 Cent's uncle,
Yeah.
and then you and 50 started communicating.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay, was
was.
that the bid we were talking about, or was that another one?
No, that was that bad. Yeah, that was
That was
for.
that bid.
Yeah, that's for a firearm in the facts.
How did you guys end up, talking or being cool with 50 Cent's uncle?
No, he was cool. He just came to me one day. We was in the yard. Introduced himself. He's like, "Yo, my nephew gonna come up and see me when your next visit." So I told him. So we just lined our visits up together on the same day, and then this we made sure in the visiting room we kind of sat close, so man 50 can chop it up.
Was that your first time talking to 50?
No.
Okay, and are you guys immediately talking about business at the time, or is he trying to see what's going on?
Yeah, he was talking about when I come home, he had some plans that he wanted to put together for me. Roc-A-Fella no longer exists. The company dissolved, and if I wanted a place to put my music at, I could come over there with him.
What were your thoughts when you heard this?
Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, 50 was huge at the time. I would have loved to see, you put a record out on G Unit, man. That would have been dope.
Yeah.
With 50 and Banks and Yayo, and I think Mobb Deep was over there at the time.
Yeah, he had like a nice plan. It wasn't just an album. He had a couple albums he wanted to do with me. He wanted to do me and him do a project. He wanted a state property G Unit project. It was like 5 different albums he had. He had a whole situation.
And he was offering you 10 mil.
Something like that.
Man, that's some good money.
Great.
Man. Okay, now you hear about this deal, you get out of jail, and you go talk to Jay. What's that like?
I think I talked about that before in the interview. Evidently it ain't happened there, so it was what it was. I think I still was obligated for one more project on Def Jam.
And Jay didn't want to let you out the deal.
I said, evidently I didn't make that move with 50.
Right. Man, okay, so you don't do the deal with 50. Do you go back and do another album for Def Jam?
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Now, did you end up working with Dame again on the album?
No.
Okay. But you and Dame had some plans to do some stuff too?
Yeah, I think Dame had some plans with me. We never really discussed in detail what that was. There's too much going on, man.
At that time?
Yeah, too much going on.
Well, you're out of jail, and you're trying to get your career back going. What is that like for you, trying to put everything back together?
It was kind of difficult. Like I came in, like I said, we was the Roc-A-Fella. So I ain't never seen no end to that. And it's kind of hard to make a choice between two people who you really with like that. And I think, whatever they was going through, that shit was above my pay grade, so it's kind of rough.
Yeah, from what I understand, you and Dame were really close. You guys hung out a lot more.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, yeah.
Having to figure everything out, man, I could see that would be, tough to figure out, man. But, at that point, how are you doing, like mentally? Like, are you focused back on music? Where are you at like that?
Not at that time, because I had to fight an attempted murder in the state. So music really wasn't on my mind at the time. Like I said, I had my own dramas going on, real dramas. I was still fighting for my life.
Okay, Because you catch another case right after you get out or soon after you get out?
I had an attempted murder case.
What was that like having to fight that case? That's a pretty serious case. You know, you can do a lot of time for an attempted murder, man. You know.
Yeah, I was looking at 20 to 40.
20 to 40 years. Oof.
That's a life sentence. Shit, if I got convicted, I might be just coming home on parole right now.
Well, how do you get arrested? Like, how do you find out that you're being indicted or arrested for these charges?
What do you mean? How you get arrested?
Yeah, did they like
hands behind your back?
They,
you get arrested like hands behind your back. You got a right to remain silent. Anything you can say can and will be used against you in a court. You mean? I was on tour.
Like, did they raid your house? Did they come get you like that? You know?
Nah, I turned myself in.
Okay.
Yeah, we was on tour and it came out on MTV News that I was wanted for the attempted murder. So contacted my lawyer, we set it up, arranged it for me to turn myself in.
How long did you have to fight the case for?
About 2 years. 2-3 years. I got mistrial the first time, and then the second one got acquitted of all charges.
Acquitted of all charges?
Yeah, mistrial first, so I had to fight that attempted murder twice. I got a mistrial and then they resentenced me. Well, they rearrested me. The day I got out the feds. Yeah, the day I was released from the feds for doing a year for the gun, 2 days later they rearrested me for the attempted murder.
Damn, did you think it was over when you had the mistrial, or did you know they were coming again?
No, I was a mistrial, so I knew they could have came again, but I didn't think they was gonna do it like that though. I was fighting both cases at the same time. The gun in the feds and attempted murder in the state. And I wound up getting a mistrial, then having to go in and do the year. And I came home and 2 days later, they jumped out on me and was like, yo, you rearresting you for the attempted murder. Bang.
Damn, okay. How did it feel to get acquitted? Of, 20 to 40 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, once again it's on.
Yeah, come home, get straight back to work.
Once again it's on.
Over the years, how much do you think you spent on legal fees?
Millions. I don't know how many of them, but a few million.
2, 3, 4, 5?
About that.
Something I wanted to ask you about is, I remember this Charlemagne interview.
Oh my God. You want to ask me about all the drama. Charlemagne, my guy, no mas. Come on.
Okay.
Come on with it.
Man, you look pretty mad in the interview. I thought you was gonna, do something serious to him, man. What was that like during that time?
Charlemagne got a job to do, and I think at the time I felt that like he was doing a little too much. And he was being a bully. So people call me the Broad Street Bully, but I don't bully people. I bully bullies. So he was bullying somebody, and I felt as though I had to, straighten that situation out.
Okay, and you and him became cool afterwards.
We was cool before that. We was cool during it and afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I said, I know he got a job to do, so, I just was picking with him because he was picking with somebody. But ain't no real beef with me and Charlemagne.
Have you been back up there?
It's never personal. It's never personal. I don't know.
Never personal.
No, it wasn't never personal.
I seen in the video, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's not no drama or nothing, but I seen that you met a young Fredo Santana when you were in Chicago one time. Is there any truth to that or anything that?
Yeah, I knew Fredo since he was like 12 years old. Yeah, I used to hang out in Chicago a lot. Yeah, that's the youngin'. Him and the whole squad, first string. Rest in peace, Telly. Rest in peace, Debo. My whole Chicago squad. Shout out to my man Odie, Big Rock, Big Roddy. Yeah, I knew Fredo when he was a kid.
How'd you get linked up with them like in Chicago? That's kind of crazy. Especially in that same area.
Through the squad, through the gang, through the homies, man. Like I said, I got a little team out there. You know, real recognize real. I locked in with some good people out there, and Fredo just happened to be one of the youngest.
Were they rapping at the time? Were they like, yo,
Nah.
man, these guys are about to blow up?
Nah, no music at
none
all.
of that. Okay. Did you run into like a young Chief Keef or Little Durk or any of them at the time?
I think I met Chief Keef probably once or twice during that time. But yeah, I was locked in with some real street niggas out there in Chicago.
Okay. Was Chicago as wild as it is now? Like, did it still have that same reputation?
Yeah. Yeah, Chicago was a no-fly zone for a lot of rappers. You ain't get too many rappers coming through Chicago. You really had to be tapped in to maneuver in Chicago. Just so happened I just got tapped in with the right ones.
What did you think when you see them guys blowing up? And you was like, yo, that's the kid that I used to know or knew from Chicago.
I mean, it was regular because back then I stayed tapped. I'm tapped into the day with the bros. So that was just like, yeah, it's on.
Okay, so you already knew that they was making moves and doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear a lot of good things about Fredo Santana. Even his ops speak good of him.
Yeah, good dude. Good kid. Solid. Fredo was a little man. Like I said, I knew Fredo since he was like 12, 13. But his demeanor was like a grown man.
I remember a few years back, I seen that it came out that you had actually came up with the name Yeezy.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. How did that come about, at the time? You guys just hanging out?
Yeah, it was just a nickname that I called Kanye. Just instead of saying Kanye, it went from Kanye to Ye to Yeezy. So that was Yeezy, man. That's what I called him.
Now, I remember, Kanye did the Drink Champs, and he was like, yeah, Beanie Sigel came up with it, and then there was, you were supposed to get like 50 mil for the idea, but you turned it down.
Nah, it never was 50 mil.
Okay.
Me and Kanye know what we talked about. But after that, he had situations going on that slowed down our process. So if you want to know that I get the money yet, no. That's what you get in that cam. The Ye give you the money. Nah.
From what I seen, that you turned down some money. That you wanted.
No,
you just wanted him to put you on or to give you, put you in position.
No, what I said was Kanye didn't owe me anything. He didn't owe me. He ain't owe me nothing. But he felt as though that he wanted to do something for me, and we talked about it. We discussed it. Then he had other issues that was more precedent than what we was talking about, so I had to get pushed to the back burner a little bit. But I know his hair, Kanye, is in here with you. So once that catch up with that, what's meant for you ain't gonna miss you. Am I crossing my toes and my fingers hoping Kanye come through? No, I'm not doing that. If it was meant to be, it'll happen.
What do you think about everything going on with Kanye today?
What about? What's going on with it?
Well, I know that they just canceled a big show of his, I think in the UK, over some of his, old songs where, he's got a song called Hail Hitler, and, he's made some people mad over the past few years.
When don't Kanye make people mad? When he don't. They say people afraid of what they don't understand.
I seen this interview with Memphis Bleak
Yeah.
and Just Blaze, and they were saying that you would go to the studio and fall asleep and wake up with your verse ready to go.
Yeah, that happened a couple times.
How does that, man, how does something like that happen, bro? That's crazy.
It just happened. I'd be lying to you if I told you to just do it.
Yeah.
Well, I never was really in the deep sleep. Like it wasn't nothing like I'm asleep. I just was in my element. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now, I seen you mention this before about AI.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Are you planning to use AI for your future music?
We gonna see.
Okay.
Planning on doing AI for a lot of things, but stay tuned to that.
Because you can, you can do the writing and then you can make your voice sound, however you want.
Yeah, I write and record everything.
Right. Now, you got in your accident, and that's what kind of slowed down, messed up your voice. How did that, because your voice didn't get messed up during the accident, right? It happened when they were pulling the tube out?
No, I actually did that. So when I was sedated, I came out of my sedation, disorientated, ain't know where I was at, and I had a breathing tube down my throat. And I pulled the breathing tube out, and it tore me up. Yeah, so that's how my voice got like that.
Damn, man. Eesh. And how did it affect you when you woke up and found it out?
I couldn't talk for months. Like I couldn't say a word. It wouldn't come out.
Damn.
Because at one point I had no voice at all.
How long were you in the hospital when you got shot?
About 3-4 months.
Damn. How many times did you get shot?
I got shot in my back twice.
You get shot, you're in the hospital for 3 months, man. How long does it take you to fully recover from everything?
Shit, forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you hear my voice now, and I still ain't recovered fully.
Do they think that you'll ever recover, or are they telling you like
Nah,
it's
in the
over?
hospital they told me I can. There's no telling.
There's
My
no
voice
telling.
can come back in a month, 3 months, 4 months, or maybe never. The type of injury I got, it's no time when I can get it back.
Is it getting any better through time?
Some people say that here and there, but I think more so I'm getting used to it.
And how long ago did this happen? Was this like 10 years ago or something?
I think maybe a little more than that. Yeah, a little more than that. A little over 10 years.
Yeah, I remember. It was in New Jersey, I think, right? New
Yep.
Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when that happened, man. I remember it being really serious. Yeah. How long did they have you in a coma? Did they have you in there for like a long time?
Yeah, I think I was under for 3 to 4 weeks.
Damn. That's a long time, I think, to be in a coma. Sheesh. Okay. After you get better, or get as good as you can get, man, what's it like trying to rebuild your music career?
Oh man, it was rough not to have no voice. So years went by without me even recording anything, cause I couldn't. And when I did, to me, it just didn't sound the same. So I was in my head like, nah, people ain't gonna accept this, cause I didn't accept it.
You didn't ever think to kind of, instead of making it a disadvantage, making it an advantage, kind of like when 50 got shot in the, he got shot in his face and it kind of changed his vocals a little bit?
I think mine was a little different than 50. My injury was a little more serious, far as my vocal cords. 50 was a thing where he had to, it just was his jaw that was tight, and he had to learn how to rap through that. My whole everything was twisted. My breathing, my vocal cords, everything was damaged. Lungs, so then my injury was a little more serious.
So how long did you go without feeling comfortable putting anything out?
Years. Just really, I would say within the last year, I felt comfortable about going back in the studio recording. I had a conversation with Conway in the Sheen, and I asked him what made him, after he had got shot, and he had Bell palsy and was proud, like what made him get over the fact that he never was going to sound the same again, and his whole situation. And from that conversation, that made me say, all right, I'm gonna just go and do it. Just what it is.
Are you happy with the way things sounded? Are you learning to project yourself differently?
Yeah, it's a little strenuous now. It's a little rough, but the pen ain't going nowhere. So the lyrics, the sword's still sharp. It's just the delivery. You'll see soon.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
During all this time, did you do any ghost writing for anybody? The pen's still there.
Nah. No ghost writing.
Now, I think you said you ghost wrote for Puff back in the day?
Yeah, I wrote a joint for Puff before, yeah.
Okay. You know what? And that was, I believe, early in your career?
Yeah, that was early in the career.
How much ghost writing did you do at the time?
Not too much. I think Puff, I wrote something for Foxy, but at the time, early in my career, I still was, trying to get my skills sharp. I was learning on the job, because I ain't know how to count bars and none of that.
One person I always hear people, run into or talk about, is Suge Knight. Did you ever run across Suge Knight? What was your relationship like with him?
I wouldn't say me and Suge had a relationship, but I ran into Suge a few times, and me and Suge was all right.
Did Suge, what did you think when Suge caught his case and he had to go away for a long time?
I don't know, man. I probably was catching the case when Suge was catching the case. So I tend to mind my business.
Okay, Bleak told a story about like when you guys first ran into Suge, that Suge kind of tried to run down on you guys.
Run down on who?
On you and Bleak.
Suge ain't never tried to run down on me.
You guys were in front of a club. I guess he pulled up on you?
Yeah, he pulled up, he said, what's up? He spoke. That's when Suge was the boogeyman. I think you getting stories mixed up. Suge ain't never run down on me. Like I said, I always tapped in everywhere I went. So I was situated. The few people that was with us was like, oh shit, they go Shug. I'm like, all right, they go Shug. And like, come on, we out. For what? Y'all can roll, I'm cool, I'm straight. And they was trying to figure out how I was situated when we all was on a plane together coming to LA. But I think that was post 9/11.
Right.
But Shug
Right.
ain't
Yeah.
never try to run down on her. Not me. Till the first time I met Shug, we at school. I remember Shug telling me, he told me I belong on death row. Y'all belong over there, you belong on death row. Me and Shug, whenever we saw each other, we had a good rapport.
Do you have a favorite memory being on Roc-A-Fella? Maybe a favorite studio session.
Damn, so many. I'm gonna say creating the Dynasty album. Probably making a Dynasty album. Those studio sessions was epic sessions. Yeah. Probably the Dynasty album. Other than that, Hard Knock Life Tour. That whole experience.
How long did it take you guys to make the Dynasty?
I don't even remember. I just know that was some good sessions, some good sparring sessions with me and Jay. I can't remember how long it took.
Was it like that? Was it always competitive between you guys, like friendly competition?
Yeah, because I always had in my mind, I can't let Jay get out on me. Like, I can't let him get out on me. That's with anybody I do a record with. You're not, even if you do get out on me, it ain't by much. That's how I go in. I can't let you get out on me.
You know, I recently just learned that Jay and Biggie were going at each other on Brooklyn's Finest.
That's the level of the highest, utmost respect. The way we was doing it, it wasn't it's competitive. Is I'm gonna beat you and be better than you, which is I want every artist. If I have any artist, that's how I want them to feel with whoever they're getting on the track with. If they don't do that, then it's not gonna be the best record. So when you say that Brooklyn's Finest, is like they're telling you I'm the finest. No, I'm the finest. And don't tell me you the Brooklyn's, but I'm telling you that, and it's subliminal. So if you don't know, if you're not on the inside, you wouldn't know. If they're not battling, like, see, when you're not, if you're being disrespectful, it's not subliminal. You're using names, you're calling you out. It's no one that's not gonna know. When you're inside of that family situation, it's subliminal, and we know, no one else knows.
And you can hear them kind of like one-upping each other, you know, not like blatantly dissing each other, obviously, you know, but throughout the song, I didn't, like, until it pointed out to me, I didn't hear it. But once it pointed out, I was like, oh, okay, I could hear it now.
Yeah.
Was it like that in the studio with you guys all the time?
No, it was just, you had to show up. Come on, Jay, man. Jay the best. So that was my measuring stick. Still sharp and still. So those sessions just made me better. I knew if I can go in there with Jay, I can go in there with the best of them. We played Tug of War on a couple records.
Do you have a favorite song off that album?
Nah. I think my favorite record with Jay, Once Again, is On. Yeah, I think.
If my life's a movie, Sigel be the sequel.
Yeah, Where's Ripping? That song took a couple days to complete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Where's tearing it up in that joint?
Why did it take a couple of days for it to be completed?
Cause Where's Rumbling? I laid my verse, called Jay to the stew, he heard it, he laid a verse, came back, I did another verse, and he was like, all right, and he did another verse. It was, yeah, that was a good session, that record.
When it comes to the Dynasty, did the Dynasty, was that supposed to be like a compilation album?
Yeah, it started out as a compilation album, and then it wound up being one of Jay albums.
Okay. Because you guys were actually getting ready to do the video for Parking Lot Pimpin', from what I understand.
Did we do that video?
I think from what I understand, it got canceled at the last minute.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, the Dynasty comes out, and it's dang near like a compilation album. I mean, you guys are all over it. Jay only has a few solo songs. And you guys do Change the Game, which was, bro, the video part of Change the Game where you're just like standing there and the truck hits you. Whose idea was that?
I guess whoever was the video dude, whoever wrote it.
Oh, okay. Who wrote the treatment for it?
Yeah, I wrote the treatment.
Okay, now you guys do this. Change the Game comes out, man. How are you thinking about the songs and everything, man? How you feeling about everything at the time?
Man, I just was, everything was love. It was moving. I was getting recognition. Video was popping. The album was coming out crazy. It was good. It was just all surreal to me. I was in a moment.
Well, what is your plans for the future?
Right now, I'm working on an album, about to drop an album. Working on a script for a biopic, book, a few things.
Okay, before we get out of here, I want to ask you, what was it like shooting the state property movies?
No, that was fun. Shout out to all my people out in Patterson, New Jersey, all the ox. We shot the movie at. Yeah, that was good money. That was fun doing that.
Do you have a favorite scene or a favorite part for some of these movies?
I think in State Property 1, when I asked Cousin E what hand he rolled up with. Cause that whole scene was improv. It wasn't in the script.
Who wrote the movie? Did you write the movie?
Nah, kid from Philly, well, older guy from Philly named Tron, rest in peace to Fat Tron, he wrote the script. Duh.
Okay. How much of it was improv? How much of that did you take like characters and situations from your real life?
A lot of it was, I'm saying majority of it was improv because we had to switch up some character names because it's people that still, got appeals in that's trying to come home from the original JBM. We had to switch it to the ABM. And so a lot of it was improv.
Oh, okay. So this was based on some real dudes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you guys, come up with like doing the part 2? What was that like?
I think Dame wrote that script to the part 2, so that was all right. I like part 1 better though. Part 2 was cool though.
Yeah, I thought part 2 was pretty, it was dope. I liked it too, man.
I think Dame watched a lot of Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Cause it was weird to me, moving all fast and them little, That wasn't it.
Now, is there anything that happened to you during your career that you were surprised about? That you didn't expect to happen?
No.
When you seen your career, when you first got signed, did you envision it being that big?
I didn't know I had a career. I looked at it as just a lick. Like I didn't set out, I didn't look to be a rapper, so I didn't know I had a career until my career was over, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Damn. Okay. So you were just looking at it like, I'm just gonna go, I'm getting this money, and we just gonna keep just doing what we doing.
No.
And then it comes to an end, and then it's a little different. Things change.
When it all falls down.
Yeah, man. Damn. Okay, well, Beanie Sigel, man, I appreciate you
Cam Capone, you already know.
taking the time. Man, legend in the game. Been doing your thing, man. I'm definitely looking forward to what you got coming up, man. And
Man, you don't know, I wish I could push this chair back, turn this computer on and push play. But the label...
we could turn the camera off and do that.
Nah, they'll kill me. My man, he turning red already. He like, you better not. Nah, but I got something. Stay tuned, because it's coming.
What's up? This Cam Capone. If you want to hear these interviews with all the cuss words in it, all the stuff we had to take out because YouTube makes us cut a lot out, all you got to do is become a member. Hit that button.